What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hippo Supercoach, and today we're going to look at the two practice games on the Saturday. So I'm not going to lie, my last two videos have been pretty ordinary just because I've been recording them way too early in the morning, and I've missed some players that have been relevant. So bear with me. I'm going to try and make sure I get everyone in these videos. Much better time of the day for me to be doing this video. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, feel free to drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, let's get into the Adelaide versus West Coast game. So West Coast, it's going to be another long year for them, unfortunately, for West Coast fans. We'll talk about them first. So McGovern, I don't really think is relevant because we obviously know his durability is terrible. So he's not on my radar. He was last year, but I've learnt my lesson. Not again. Highly recommend no one else goes near him either. Tim Kelly, 98, whatever. Elliot Yeo, so 96, pretty solid game from him in the 76% time on ground. So he's had the 16 touches, 9 tackles is really, really nice, and 8 contested, 5 clangers, which isn't ideal. But yeah, Elliot Yeo, he's like McGovern. Their bodies just, I don't think they're going to hold up, unfortunately. So especially not for the full season anyway. So expect them to miss games if you're going to pick either of them. Yeah, not for me. Harley Reid, 88, so bounced back nicely. Showed us enough why we should pick him still. You know, at the end of the day, he is only 200k with a lot of upside. He should get better every week. But yeah, like I said, I think they're just going to get smacked around quite a bit. That Livingstone guy, that was on a lot of people's benches. Only played 28% game time, but he scored -4. So, big no-no, I think. I don't think he'll be playing round 1. That's it for West Coast, I think. No one else too relevant. Yeah. Moving on to Adelaide. So Riley O'Brien has gone absolutely nuts. 169. So would you pick him? Probably not for me, but he did look unbelievably fit. Like he was chasing and he was looking like a midfielder at times then. So I think Riley O'Brien could be a nice little pod play if you were really keen. But for me, obviously, there's much better ruck options than O'Brien. But yeah, I could see O'Brien having a really big year. I don't know why. It just looked really, really good to the eye. What note do they have on McGovern here? Holding down centre half back on Walker. Okay. Rankin went nuts, but not really Supercoach relevant. Sam Berry, 200 and something K. He's one that's seriously tempting me. Look, it's going to be hard not to pick him at this point. 115, 7, we know how good of a tackler he is. He did kick 2 goals, though, to be fair, which obviously bolstered his scoring quite a bit. But like at the end of the day, the kid is a gun. I do rate him. He's a very similar player to John Newcombe, I think. Very bash and crash, lots of tackles, same sort of size. I could definitely see Berry going in the 90s. But I just don't know if I can fit him into this midfield. We've got some really good options, rookie options, putting their hand up at the moment in the mids. So I think at this point, yeah, there's not many spots left for someone like Sam Berry, but definitely one to, do they play round 0? I think they don't. Okay, so yeah, someone to consider anyway. Matt Crouch, 114. So unusual Supercoach to Dream Team ratio here. Usually he's much better in the Dream Team category from what I've seen. He went at 100% efficiency. That's got to be the first time in his life he's done that. In only 59% game time. So, look, Matt Crouch is going to be hard to keep out of your team at this point. The only thing is, 490k, you're picking him to be a top 8 mid. At the end of the day, is he going to be a top 8 mid? I don't think you'll quite get to that point. There's a lot of points to go around that midfield. Dawson, Laird, Berry now, Crouch. They're running Rochelle. They're running Rankin even in there for a bit. So still undecided whether I think that's like a preseason trial strategy or that's actually how they're going to run in the main stuff. That's where it's a bit tricky for us to pick as super coaches because it's like, well, are they just doing it for the practice matches? I think for now, I'm steering clear of any team that I don't really understand fully what's going on. And Adelaide at this point, Adelaide and Freo are 2 teams that are very, very confusing in the way they've set up their midfield and the rotations. So yeah, I think I will be steering clear from all the Adelaide boys for now, but I could see a world where Crouch goes 105 plus. But yeah, for now, he's not in my team. We will look at my team in a second. Who else is relevant from Adelaide? So Hinge, which a lot of people thought was going to be good, and he scored the 47. I think he played more of a lockdown sort of role today. Yeah, that's pretty much it from Adelaide. Rory Laird, very average game from him. Didn't I think he only played 3/4, but he's going to be around the mark 110, 115, 120. It's a big variance, obviously. I don't know exactly where he's going to fall in that range, but somewhere there. I don't think he's going below 110, so it's still a really good option. I don't buy into this forward thing that people are saying he's going to play forward. I really don't buy into that. Anyway, let's have a look at this game. So, Q's in the rack here. It's nearly the end, so the scores might be a little bit different when you guys watch this video, but at the moment, I'm just going to run through it quickly. So, John Newcombe, 125. Good game from him, but I don't like the way Hawthorn are looking. As soon as the Bulldogs started trying, it was very evident. It was like, switch was flicked. And Hawthorn just could not match it. They could not match it whatsoever. So, look, Newcombe, if you're a Hawk supporter and you want to get him, I can see why you'd want that. He's a good player, but I don't think he'll be a top 8, unfortunately. He should get better, just with natural progression. But, yeah, not for me. Carl Amon, 96. So he looked a bit shaky at times in that back line, but another one putting their hand up for a decent role. I'd rather Nick Martin slightly at the moment, but Amon's definitely up there for a good mid-pricer. I mean, this is the thing. They're not all going to work out. It's like the Setterfield, Ash, Wanganeen, Malera, Warple, who else last year? Horn Francis. Like, they have some good games, but they're not consistent. So that's where I'm just a bit wary on these guys. I think I'd rather grab as many Uber premiums as I can and then play from there. I think 10 or 11 keepers in the team, that's a good structure to sort of go off. But yeah. Anyway, who are we going to look at now? Let's go to Henry Hustwaite. So he was really good. Oh, so Connor McDonald and Cam McKenzie, people have been talking about them as like kind of pods. But yeah, not for me. So Henry Hustwaite, I think, is going to be one of the best cash cows this year. He looks really, really good. I don't know how the role's going to look when the actual main stuff starts, but yeah, I think you have to pick him, and I think he's got to be on your field. Moving down, who else? James Sicily, I think maybe a trap. Played lockdown on... Oh, my stupid dog's barking. Played lockdown on Lob. So that's probably not the pick you want for that price. I think it's not really worth it. So I won't be going near Sicily this year. But I could see why people would. Moving on to the doggies. So Tom Liberatore, 137. Look, I think he's in for me, to be honest. I am very, very hot on him. Massive pod. That's another thing. He's a massive, massive pod. And I think, yeah, could definitely be a top 4, even mid this year. It seems like he's just getting better with age, which is really crazy. So he's gone 137. Bont 136. We know what Bont's capable of. We know what English is capable of. Nothing new here. Riley Sanders looked really, really good. 86 Supercoach. Lock him in, obviously. I don't know how his role's going to change with McRae coming in, because that's going to mess with it a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure. And then Harms. I'm not sure about Harms. Like, yeah, it's a lot of tough decisions to be made with all these 200k forwards and whatnot. But yeah, Harms I don't know about at the moment. Caulfield started off really well and then sort of drifted out. I don't know what happened. Finished on 52. Is he going to be a fieldable option? Probably not. But at this point, I don't want Sicily. I'm not really keen on any other defender, so I probably have to field him. But yeah, that's it for those games. I think I've covered everyone. Yeah. This is how my team's looking right now. Bont, Liber, LDU, Parrish, Nick Martin. It's only really the midfield changing. I've currently got English and Gawn. Yeah. I don't think that Lob situation was real at all, where he was going to supposedly play more mid. More ruck. So I don't think we need to worry about that. And yeah, got the 4 premium defenders. I'm pretty set on that, I think. Not too sure. I think probably Zach Reed over Caulfield, but Reed will probably have a low floor if he's playing lockdown. Um, and then yeah, that's pretty much how the team's looking. I'm pretty happy with most of it. 76k in the bank. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed the games today. They're pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's good that we have Supercoach scores and some intel. But at the end of the day, the matches are meaningless, and it's going to be similar for round 0. But at least the premiership points count. But yeah, one more week, and then we can start the real stuff. So very exciting, and I'll see you in the next one.